Welcome to the Deep Dive, the show where we really try to break down complex stuff into insights that, well, actually make sense for you.
Made it clear.
Right, exactly. And today, it's a topic so many people dream about.
Mm.
Finding that perfect tropical paradise to live in.
The big move.
Yeah. And we're zoning in on a huge one. Phuket versus Bali, kind of the classic expat showdown.
It really comes up a lot.
And just for clarity up front, we'll be referring to Phuket as Phuket. That's how you'll often hear it pronounced locally.
Good call. Important detail.
So our mission here is to dig into the pros, the cons, what each island is really like for expats to help you figure out which one might be, the better fit for your life.
And we're basing this all on a really comprehensive article, Phuket versus Bali, the Expat Paradise Showdown.
That's the one. Lots of detail in there.
Yeah, and I think it's crucial, like you said, to frame this right. It's not really about finding some objective winner.
No, definitely not.
Yep.
One size doesn't fit all here.
Exactly. It's more about exploring, what matches your individual priorities, what you're looking for. We'll look at, the whole picture, daily life, culture, but also the really practical things, property, visas, how easy is it to get flights, that kind of stuff.
The nitty-gritty.
The goal is just to give you the key points, hopefully make that big decision feel a bit more manageable.
I agree. That framing is key. But even thinking about it that way, are there common mistakes people make, like misconceptions that lead them to pick the wrong island for them?
Oh, absolutely. A big one is just thinking they're basically the same. Tropical island, beaches, done.
But they're really not interchangeable.
Not at all. They offer fundamentally different experiences. I mean, look at expat satisfaction. Most people are happy in either place, which is great.
Okay.
But Phuket,
Yeah?
it's been a major tourist spot for longer. It's a bit smaller geographically in terms of the main expat areas.
Yeah.
It tends to offer a more, let's say, uniform expat experience.
So more predictable, perhaps.
Kind of. What you see is generally what you get across the island's popular zones. Bali, though, it's just so diverse. You got Canggu with its surf and digital nomad scene, Ubud, which is all spiritual and green, Seminyak's boutiques.
Right. Totally different vibes in each place.
Exactly. So Bali offers a much wider range of environments. Sometimes people move there expecting one thing and get surprised by the variety. Phuket often meets expectations more directly, maybe.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And do we see, patterns? Certain types of people choosing one over the other?
We do see some trends, yeah. It seems Australian retirees, for example, often gravitate towards Bali. Maybe it's the laid-back vibe, the spiritual side, the wellness culture.
Proximity probably helps too.
That too, definitely. Whereas, interestingly, Americans seem to lean a bit more towards Phuket.
Oh, why do you think that is?
It could be visa accessibility that's sometimes mentioned.
Yeah.
Or maybe the more established Western-style infrastructure, good international schools, familiar setups in the main towns. It can feel like a slightly softer landing, perhaps.
Okay. Less culture shock, maybe.
Potentially. But honestly, the overall popularity contest, it's incredibly close. It really boils down to, do you prioritize ease of access, a sort of structured environment, or are you after deeper cultural immersion, maybe a more bohemian, varied feel?
Okay, let's unpack this a bit.
Yeah.
What about the scenery? You mentioned Bali's diversity, but for that classic paradise beach, image-blinding white sand, turquoise water, does Phuket still have the edge?
Yeah, for that specific conventional picture-perfect beach ideal, Phuket definitely has a very strong reputation.
Like the travel brochures.
Exactly. Think really soft, often dazzlingly white sand, that super clear turquoise water, Kayon Beach, Kata Beach, they're prime examples. It's generally easier to find that kind of classic, pristine look there.
Right. So Phuket wins on the classic beachfront, maybe?
For that specific image, often yes. But Bali, its visual appeal is just so much broader.
How so?
Well, it's got beautiful beaches, too, don't get me wrong. But then you've also got these dramatic cliffside temples hanging over the ocean, like Tanah Lot or Uluwatu.
Oh, yeah. Stunning.
And the rice terraces, Lake Digalang, just these incredible waves of green, plus volcanic backdrops. Ubud, as we mentioned, known for its deep green serenity, its whole spiritual vibe. It's a different kind of beauty. More inland, more cultural landscape mixed in.
So not just coastal focused.
Precisely. And even on the sand itself, Phuket generally tends to have finer, whiter sand, feels maybe more luxurious underfoot.
Uh-huh.
Bali has lovely beaches, but some, especially on the west coast, might have darker, coarser sand. Though saying that, areas like Nusa Dua in the south, they absolutely rival Phuket's best.
Okay, so it depends what beautiful means to you, really.
Yeah.
Classic beach versus diverse landscape.
Exactly. If your dream is only about that classic white sand, Phuket might feel more consistent. If it's about breathtaking variety, natural and cultural, Bali really expands the definition.
That's a great distinction. Okay, moving beyond just looking at the pretty scenery,
Hmm.
activity, adventures, cultural stuff, does one clearly offer more?
This is interesting. For water sports, Bali really seems to take the lead. Surfing is huge there, almost a religion.
All right, Uluwatu for the experts.
And places like Kuta or Seminyak are great for beginners, but it's not just surfing. Kite surfing, windsurfing, they're big too. And the diving and snorkeling around Nusa Penida and the Gili Islands, technically separate islands, but very much part of the Bali orbit for expats, is fantastic.
Phuket has diving too, though, right? The Simlans?
Absolutely. Simlon Islands diving is world-class. But Bali just seems to offer a wider variety of water sports, maybe more accessible for different skill levels right across the board.
Okay, so Bali for water sports fans.
Yeah.
What about, well, stuff to do on land? Culture.
This is where Bali, again, offers immense variety. You can explore ancient Hindu temples for days, wander through those iconic rice paddies, get lost in Ubud's cultural heart, the monkey forest, the art markets.
It's immersive.
It really is. Plus, water parks, cooking classes, and that massive yoga and wellness scene that pulls people in from everywhere.
And Phuket's non-beach attractions.
Phuket has great things too, of course. The Big Buddha is impressive. There are interesting temples. Boat trips to Fanglanga Bay with those amazing limestone karsts are spectacular.
James Bond Island.
That's the one. But Bali, it just offers a deeper, more pervasive cultural immersion, I think. The sheer number of festivals, the traditional dance performances like Kikak or Legong you can see regularly, the gamelan music that's just part of the background hum.
It feels more integrated into daily life, maybe.
That's a good way to put it. It contrasts with Phuket's entertainment, which can sometimes feel a bit more geared towards, well, typical tourist shows. So if you're seeking a deeper spiritual connection or artistic vibe, Bali often feels more accessible.
All right, let's shift gears. The big question. Money. What's the damage to the bank account? We know both are cheaper than, say, London or New York.
Yeah.
But how do they stack up against each other?
Right. Good news is, yes, both are generally more affordable than many Western countries. But comparing them, Bali can be a bit cheaper overall, especially if you're happy living a bit further from the main tourist centers like Seminyak or Canggu, and if you embrace eating local food at the warungs.
Those little local eateries, love them.
They're fantastic and so affordable. Phuket offers great value too, don't get me wrong, but it perhaps sits somewhere in the middle, price-wise. You get good quality for your money, good infrastructure.
Okay. What about accommodation costs? That's usually the biggest chunk.
Huge factor. In Phuket, being right near a prime beach, that will definitely bump up the price significantly. In Bali, you might find some surprisingly affordable villa deals if you look a bit further inland, say around Ubud or just away from the absolute hotspots.
So location matters. Even more so maybe in Phuket for price.
Potentially, yeah. And one small detail, but it adds up for some people, alcohol. Imported beer, wine, spirits. They can be quite pricey in Thailand due to taxes.
Oh, the sin tax.
Exactly. Bali might be slightly easier on the wallet in that specific department, especially for imported stuff.
Good to know. Okay, beyond daily costs, shopping, retail therapy needs. What's the scene like?
Here, Phuket probably has the edge if you're looking for international brands or big, modern shopping malls.
Like Central Festival or Yongsilong?
Precisely. Familiar stores, department stores, cinemas. Convenient if you need something specific or just want that kind of conventional shopping experience.
And Bali.
Bali is all about the unique finds. Think local crafts, incredible furniture, independent fashion boutiques, sprawling art markets. It's more of a treasure hunt.
So less high street, more one of a kind.
Exactly. You go to Bali to discover things, to find pieces with a story made by local artisans. It's less about grabbing the latest international trend and more about finding something special. It's a totally different and, for some, much more exciting shopping vibe.
Okay, let's talk practicalities. Safety, getting around, internet, the everyday stuff. Safety first, how do they compare? Both seem pretty safe generally.
Yeah, generally both are considered safe for expats. But like any popular tourist destination, you need to be aware of petty crime pickpocketing. Scams, especially in crowded areas. Standard precautions apply.
Right. And natural risks, they're different, aren't they?
They are. Bali is in the Ring of Fire, so it's more prone to earthquakes and has active volcanoes. That's just a geological reality.
Mm-hmm.
Phuket, on the other hand, faces a higher risk of tsunamis because of its location on the Andaman Sea. The 2004 tragedy really highlighted that vulnerability. It's something to be aware of, though warning systems have improved significantly since then.
Okay. What about just getting to these places? Connectivity.
This is actually a really key point. Phuket International Airport HKT is a major regional hub.
Lots of direct flights.
Exactly. Extensive direct flights from Asia, the Middle East, even Europe. That makes getting back home or having friends and family visit often much easier and potentially cheaper. It offers really superior accessibility.
And Bali's airport, Denpasar, DPS. Yeah.
It's incredibly busy, too, a major gateway, but it can feel more congested. And crucially, the journey from the airport to popular spots like Canggu or Ubud can involve some seriously intense traffic.
The infamous Bali traffic jam.
It can take a lot longer than you'd think just looking at a map. So Phuket often wins on pure travel convenience, door to door.
And once you're on the island, getting around, you mentioned Phuket has decent roads, songthus, tuk-tuks.
Yeah, Phuket's road network is generally pretty good, especially the main routes. You've got songthus, those shared pickup truck taxis, and tuk-tuks, though you often need to haggle on the price for those.
Right.
And there are buses for longer distances, so a few options.
And Bali relies more on.
Bali sees a much heavier reliance on private transport. Renting a scooter is almost a rite of passage.
If you dare.
Yeah. Or renting a car, often with a driver. Plus, ride-hailing apps like Grab and Gojek are absolutely everywhere and very affordable.
So apps are king in Bali.
Definitely for convenience. But the traffic, as we mentioned, it can be pretty intense. The infrastructure, particularly the narrow roads in many popular areas, just hasn't really kept pace with the explosion in tourism and development.
Potholes and gridlock?
Can be, yeah. So while hailing a ride is easy, the actual journey might test your patience. Overall, Thailand and Phuket within it generally feels like it has slightly better developed infrastructure, wider roads, maybe more consistent maintenance.
And internet.
Yeah.
Crucial for digital nomads.
Crucial. Both have improved massively. But again, Thailand often gets the slight edge for consistency and speed, especially with mobile data coverage across the island. Bali's internet can be great in main hubs, but sometimes a bit patchier elsewhere. For retirees, too, Phuket's more developed infrastructure often extends to healthcare, with easier access to international standard hospitals.
Okay, that leads nicely into longer-term thinking. Settling down. Property, visas, community. This is where it gets really interesting, right? Especially property.
Absolutely. And here, there's quite a significant difference. Phuket generally offers a more, let's say, secure and transparent environment for foreigners buying property.
Also.
Well, foreigners can legally own condominiums freehold, meaning outright ownership in their own name. That's a big deal.
Okay.
And for houses or land, while foreigners can't own land directly, there are well-established and regulated 30-year leasehold structures, often renewable. It provides a good degree of security.
And this is where that source article comes in handy, from Ocean Worldwide.
Exactly. The article we drew from is by Ocean Worldwide. They're a luxury real estate agency, actually based right there in Phuket since way back in 2004. The director, Sandra O'Neill, has apparently helped thousands of families and investors over the years, focusing on luxury residential stuff in Phuket and Koh Samui.
So they know the Phuket market inside out.
Precisely. And their perspective highlights Phuket's clearer legal pathways for foreign investment, offering that peace of mind, especially if you're looking at higher-end properties or making a serious long-term investment.
Makes sense. How does Bali compare then on property?
Bali typically relies on leasehold arrangements too, but the structures can sometimes feel, well, less clear-cut. There can be more ambiguity around long-term security, renewals, and especially inheritance.
So a bit more complex or maybe riskier feeling for the long haul.
It can feel that way for some buyers, yeah. Particularly those prioritizing absolute legal certainty and ease of passing property on. Phuket often seems more straightforward for that reason.
Okay, crucial difference. What about visas? Always a hot topic for expats wanting to stay longer than a tourist trip.
Always. And again, different approaches. Bali has its KITAS permits, often tied to work or investment, and social cultural visas for longer stays. They've been talking about a specific digital nomad visa for ages, but progress seems slow.
Still mostly talk.
Seems that way for a dedicated easy nomad visa, yeah. Though things change fast. Thailand, on the other hand, has more established long-term options.
Like what?
Well, specific retirement visas, the OA and OX types, which are quite popular. And then there's the Thailand Privilege Visa, sometimes called the Elite Visa, which offers long-term residency for a significant fee, up to 20 years in some cases.
So more defined routes for retirees or long-termers in Thailand.
Generally, yes, more established pathways. That said, for both places, if you don't fit neatly into those categories, the reality for many long-term expats, especially digital nomads without the official visa yet, involves visa runs leaving and re-entering the country periodically.
Right at the border hop.
It's common practice. But on the community front, Bali, especially Canggu and Ubud, absolutely buzzes with digital nomads. It's a massive draw, huge community, loads of co-working spaces and events.
Phuket less so for nomads specifically.
It has nomads, for sure, but it doesn't quite have that same density or dedicated nomad infrastructure feel as Bali does right now. Thailand overall has a very established and diverse general expat presence, though retirees, families, professionals spread across places like Bangkok, Chiang Mai, and Phuket too.
And finding your tribe. Making connections.
Oh, both places are great for that now. Loads of online groups, Facebook, Meetup covering every possible interest, very easy to connect with other expats.
What about integrating with the local culture?
That's maybe where the field differs again. Bali, with its very visible Hindu traditions, daily offerings, constant ceremonies, it offers a potential for really deep spiritual and cultural immersion if you seek it out. It's right there on the surface.
In Thailand.
Thailand, predominantly Buddhist, also offers rich cultural experiences, amazing food, beautiful temples, festivals. You can definitely engage deeply with local life. It's perhaps just that Bali's unique Hinduism feels very present, very integrated into the daily visual and spiritual landscape in a way that's quite distinct.
So both offer incredible opportunities, just different flavors of paradise.
Exactly, which brings us back to the main point, really.
So wrapping this all up, what does it mean for you listening and dreaming of that tropical move? At the end of the day, choosing between Phuket and Bali, it's deeply personal.
Absolutely. Both are amazing islands. Both offer incredible lifestyles. But they cater to different needs, different desires.
One isn't inherently better.
Not at all. The better choice is the one that fits you. So maybe the final thought to leave you with is this. What kind of expat adventure are you truly seeking?
Good question.
Are you looking for perhaps more ease of access, a really well-structured environment, predictability, even if it means maybe slightly less cultural intensity?
Right.
Or are you drawn to a richer, maybe more complex tapestry of cultural experiences, a bit more of a bohemian feel, even if it means navigating a few more, let's say, logistical hurdles like traffic or visa runs?
So convenience versus maybe chaos in culture.
Mm.
It's simplifying it, but
It's part of the core difference, yeah. Your answer tells you a lot, not just about which island might suit you, but about what you truly want from this next chapter of your life abroad.